Welcome everybody, it's Tractor Chute here for Wednesday, and we don't have a name for it because everybody knows what I promised for Wednesday. I have a new submitter today, and I am about instant gratification. Just ask any woman you know. Here we go, boys. We're going to have some Silver League superheroes. In the upper left-hand corner, playing as Protoss, is going to be Barcode. Some form of barcode. Anyways, both these guys are Silver League, and we'll tell you, so don't be fooled by the barcode. There's no one that is in some high Grandmaster League or anything. In the bottom right-hand corner, we have a name that is either in Japanese or Chinese. I'm not entirely sure, but this is the submitter of the game, playing as the Blue Terran, as he says, good game. What a polite feller that man is. Here we go. Let's get this baby going. He's going to start himself off with a nice little supply depot built up there. At the other end there, it does look like Barcode's going to start himself out with the pylon. Go figure. Let's take a look at our production tab here so we can get a little idea what kind of timing these guys are going to lay down and everything. I don't picture any sort of rushing happening in this game here so far from what I've seen out of the builds and not the early scouting, but we'll soon find out. Here he goes there. He's done with that supply depot. Decides he's going to stand around and enjoy that scenery. This is Belshire. Very, very pretty map. I do agree with you, Mr. SCV. There he goes, getting down that barracks here. He's not going to wall off at all there. You really no reason to wall off against Protoss. A lot of times they're not a big threat to do any sort of rush. It does look like Barcode is going to send his probe out, though. We can get a little bit of scouting off here, which is a very good move. Same with the other feller there. I'm not too sure. I got to come up with some names for the other feller because I don't want to come up with something that I think it says, because I really have no idea what any of those symbols mean. So we are actually going to call himself Symbols. And I realize Symbol is a very famous StarCraft player, so we will pluralize it to Symbols. So Symbols will move across the map there, and Barcode will also do the very same. He will get the first scout off here. He's going to find himself nothing overly special. We'll see the gas there a little bit early there, so might get an idea, like I said, on the one game there. It could end up turning into a quick little reactor slash Reaper type rush here possibly, or might just like look to pump out some Marines fairly quickly and get them across the map there with a reactor planted on there. This SCV is apparently the builder SCV, as he's going to stand around after building that barracks and he saw what to do next. He gets put right to work back on those minerals there. It does look like Barcode will travel around the base there. Symbols is going to make himself up into the base here and find himself a cybernetics core with himself a gateway as well. They will stand there for a little bit. We'll pull up the APM tab. There, 28 to 24, neck and neck. Silver League superheroes never disappoints. I don't want to see you surpass 30. You might exceed our expectations. And he will stick around 29 there. Does look like that probe. Oh, thought the probe was going to chase the SCV out, but will leave the SCV to stand there and scout. Does get out the expo right away. Will be very good intel if he still has that probe in the base there. Does not look like he still has the probe in the base there. Does look like he pulled him back there. We'll soon find out if he did end up seeing that. Did not end up seeing the expo, though. So he does have the probe right there. Sorry, I did miss the probe there. He is trying to basically kill that probe, so he doesn't find out that the expo is laid down nice and early there. And whether or not he can do it, he does have the Marine. Marine might end up taking the long road. If the probe does get out, it's going to be very good intel for him to know that the expo is out. But either way, he has planted an expo blindly, which was a very good move. It is going to work out for him, as he will not get rushed or surprised at all here. Is getting a tech lab onto that barracks there. Does end up taking out that probe in the end, so very well done there. Is now planning off the supply depot at the wall there. I don't know if he's going to build a wall out of that, but he might end up doing. Did not get the probe. Sorry, the probe still survived barely there. We'll end up getting on the base and go right by there and end up seeing that. Yes, he does. So he does know that the expo is out. So both these guys have a nice early expo. Going to get into a fairly macro heavy game, I would have to imagine. Does have the gateway pumping out a stalker to start the game. Always handy, nice, have nice and early there. Is saving up his chrono boost there. Not exactly the best use of chrono boost, but he is going to save it up anyways, right up to 100. Maybe he's saving it up to chrono boost out something spectacular. Warp gate technology is apparently a choice. There he goes. Now he's chrono boosting like crazy there. Does not want to chrono boost out the stalker because that would be just too much speed for that stalker to get out of there. It is going to get the bunker down at the other end here. We will see ourselves a nice little wall off here, which will defend the natural. So very well done. Orbital commands coming out as well for Symbols here. So very, very high end play by him there. Does get the factory out as well. So he is going into a factory 3 barracks here. So might be looking at a siege tank slash Marine Marauder type build. Still not entirely sure what was with the early gas. He might be getting into maybe a fairly gas-heavy build. We'll soon find out here. But he does have enough to get his research done pretty early here. Does have the stim pack going, so very well done there. Now, on the other end, we are getting a move out here with a stalker. And he does also have a probe. So probe's going to come to lay down the proxy, I would have to imagine. But with this bunker being here, should be quite easily fended off here. Does not have any other units out there. Let's take a look at the production tab here. Stim pack, basically in our tech lab. couple SCVs, couple barracks, probes. So very macro heavy at this point in time. Does have the double forge going down. Very, very interesting. So maybe looking to pump out some units fairly quickly here. Very well done there. So I'd have to imagine he's going to get into an upgrade heavy game. Does have the Stalker there. Stalker finally gives up, realizes he can't do anything. Barcode leaves. Was enough to draw 3 SCVs off the line there. They got pretty scared. Thought they had to repair that fairly quickly. Fair enough. They end up getting back to work there right in time. It does look like this probe is just scouting around, making sure nothing is out of the ordinary on this map so far. We can probably speed this up as we are into a macro heavy game. Does have the Stalker just going around in circles here, basically making sure there is no third expansion. He's not that far beyond. But little does he know he leaves just a little too early. That third will come down 4 symbols here, so very well done there. Hopefully he doesn't get caught by this probe, which is coming all the way around the map here. This probe probably will get that figured out here. Did end up scanning there, but didn't end up scanning the third. So the probe will actually get in here and realize that the third is on the map. Alright, this should be key to start putting suppressor on, or at least build his own third there. So at this point in time, it will be very interesting to see how Barcode reacts to this. Is going double gas there up at the expansion here, so isn't going into a gas heavy builder. We'd had these simulators down a little bit earlier. Is getting 3 more gateways out, very smart. And there he goes, chrono boosting out his upgrades of his ground weapon and ground armor, very smart there. There we go, bunkers filled up. We are getting into pumping the Marines out nicely here. Let's take a look at the factory here, pulling up the units tab here. Mothership core finally does make its way on the field, so 10 Marines to the 1 Stalker and the 1 Mothership. Is going into Marine Marauder build, so it isn't going to use the factory at all. And in fact, he's going to go with the 5 Barracks and the 1 Stargate, so fairly standard Terran build here, which I do like to see, so very well done. Will allow him to put out a lot of units, and Marine Marauder is very deadly. Does have some vacationing SCVs here. They're going to sit around by these supply depots and relax for a little bit, stare at that nice looking engineer and base, say, damn, you did a good job, friend. Very well done. We'll get the other gas going out on the expansion here. This expansion has finished. This SCV says, I don't want to work right now. We will take a little bit of a break. Does have the probe still continuing to go around the map there. So very interesting, as he is keeping very good scouting going, knowing the whole time exactly where symbols is as far as expansions go. So he's going to make his way across the map here. Could be a little bit deadly. We only have 1 Stalker and 1 Mothership core with the 1 Zealot, but does have the ability to warp in some units fairly quickly here. So may be able to defend this off here. Probe is coming up here. We do see a scan go down there. It was somewhere around here, I do believe. I did miss that somewhere, but he did scan up ahead just so he knew what was going to be up ahead of him here. This probe will scout it, but it might be too little too late. He will get the scout there. It does have 5 Zealots. Now, whether or not they're going to be enough for this, we do have Stim, which is research here. Here we go. We'll determine right now if this is going to fend it off here. Do get a little bit of lag there. Do apologize about that. Is using some micro here, so very good micro skill against some Zealots. Time warp goes down. Very smart time warp by Barcode there. He is continuing to micro there. Very good micro done there. I don't believe that he ended up using... Oh, he did use a stim there, sorry. He is now going to try and drop him in the back of the base, pick him up, drop him. Start to be a little bit of a nuisance here, I would have to imagine here. We do have a lot of units heading back, apparently. Combat Shield has now finished. So he is taking all those units back. He's going to leave these ones up here to do drops here. Not entirely sure why he's retreating everybody else. They're going to actually get quite a few probe kills. The Zealots are just going to stand at the front of the base. Does have the Templar out. Templar could start to lay down some Storm here, I would have to imagine, if Storm has been researched at this point in time. He is actually going to get right up there. They will fly them out of there quite easily, so very well done there. Let's take a look. Did he actually end up getting Storm here? Let's see. He does have Tempo Archive. No, Storm has not even been started yet. Everybody's going to retreat back. He does have a lot of Marines on the field here. Apparently he's going into a fairly heavy Marine build. Very light on the Marauders. Only has 1 Marauder. Still has this expansion over here, so if he does choose to use it, he could definitely do so. Doesn't really want to mine off it right now because that wouldn't be too smart. I am just kidding. It does take a lot of micro when you're trying to do drops and that there. Probably is trying to focus on one thing at a time here, so hasn't bothered to get that going there. There he goes. Now he's mining. Did see some mules drop over here, so very well done. Is using that engineering ability for upgrades, so very well done there. Does have the infantry armor level 1. Very smart. Let's take a look at our production tab one more time here. We are going into the planetary fortress. Do have an armory coming down, so might be getting into some Thors quite possibly. There's some more Marauders coming out there. Do have the ground armor level 2 coming out now. Is getting fairly heavy on the Templars, and he's going into an Archon build, so not going Templars at all, which is the reason Storm wasn't being researched, I guess. So he is actually going into an Archon build. Very smart build when you're going to get some Marine Marauder meta back. So I am very impressed by that. Good counter. And we'll soon find out what he chooses to do here. Is he going to stick the Marine Marauder? Very interesting due to the fact that he does have the armory out. So if he does choose to do so, we could finally end up seeing... Oh, he is probably going into Widow Mine. So we are going to swap that faction around and start to get into a Widow Mine type build here as well. Very good move there. At least I'd have to imagine that's what he's going to use with this for. We'll soon find out there. At some point in time, I would have to imagine. Up at the other end, we're sticking to very heavy on the Archons here. Look at this. Wow. Already up to 3 Archons there, so definitely pumping out the Templars as fast as he can here. Very well done there. Still don't see any Widow Mines, so not entirely sure what the swap around was for. Maybe to get an extra building to start putting some Marauders out, I would have to imagine, given the option of Widow Mines if he chooses to do so. Looks like we are finally getting ready to move out here. We're going to lay down a fairly heavy drop. That is a lot of Metavask carrying units. Very, very hopeful he doesn't get intercepted here. He is going to move out, does use the turbo boost here, will make his way across the middle of the map here, kind of going down around the outside there, but if this army intercepts him, could be very deadly. They're both going one way after the other. Could turn into a base race at this point in time here, and if it does turn into a base race, I don't know who to call, to be honest with you. With this third over here, might be a lifesaver, but we'll soon find out here. Did he end up seeing that? No, he didn't. He is actually just checking around everywhere, make sure he knows what's going on. He will be in for a surprise, but there is a cannon over there. I don't know if it's going to be enough, as there is a lot. Does end up getting in the base there. There's the drop there. This should eliminate those cannons very quickly. Now, what Barcode chooses to do from this point in time will determine how this match is going to go. There they go. They're going to move right in there. They will knock these buildings down very quick. And I kind of agree with them. I think base race is his best option. Does have Zealot legs, so that is going to help a lot with the mass Zealot count there. So they're going to start massacring all down there. We will start knocking down these buildings left, right, and center. Going to knock down most production buildings. Once that Cybernex core goes down, that is going to be very, very deadly, and Barcode will be in a lot of trouble. He will not be able to warp out basically anything except for Zealots here. So it could be very, very big trouble. This Twilight Council did go down as well. So he does have a few units here trying to defend this off here. It is really going to come down to whether or not he finds this third here, because he does have a lot of DPS with these Zealots, with Zealot legs and the Archons here. But with all the Marine Marauder and the Stim, this could be very deadly, as they're chosen not to Stim yet. Very, very surprising, actually, considering he has about 5 medevacs there. They're going to knock down basically everything. Robo Facility ends up going down. They end up knocking down the last of the gateways here fairly quickly. Or Nexus end up going down. They are actually committed to the base race. He is rebuilding. Very, very smart by Barcode. So he will get some buildings up here. So very well done there. They're right in the base. He is focusing his full focus onto the attacks here. But we are also building at the other end command center. And probably not the best location in the world, as he did plant it right beside a pylon. It could actually come down to a base race between where that pylon and that command center is. But we'll soon find out, as he does knock down the last of the Nexus here. Now, what does he choose to do from here? Is he going to choose to actually continue the base race? He does have a lot of floating buildings, which are keeping an eye on exactly where Barcode is building his stuff here. They're going to knock down the rest of the Terran buildings there, but Terran is spread out as well as Barcode, so both of them very well spread out here. We'll end up knocking down the full natural, making sure he knows exactly where all those buildings are here. He was basically trying to get rid of all the Nexus, so that way he could reveal his opponent. Now, both of them now basically have the main and the natural defeated there. We did leave quite a few buildings up here, though, which was a little bit of a surprise from Symbols there. Symbols is going to move his way down the map here to the bottom right, as he does know this base is set up here with a lot of cannons. Very smart move by Barcode here. This might be enough to fend it off here. Barcode is going to, Barcode is actually going to move his way back to his natural, or his only base, I guess, trying to defend it here. Might be a very, very smart move. They're going to run into each other. Now, the stim might be the difference here. We'll see what happens. He does end up stimming there, so very well done. He's going to try and knock down everybody that he can. Very good micro, and with that micro and him having no range, really, could be big trouble for Barcode here. Does have a few sentries there. Does end up knocking down those Templars. Very well done there. Now, whether or not he can get through this cannon wall might be a different story. He is knocking these cannons down left, right, and center. Does need the micro. These guys, very good micro. Does get stuck in the time warp here. Could be in big trouble if those Zealots all get in there. All the probes are trying to get in there. Take some DPS as well. There we go. This could be very big trouble. They do get a little bit of a surrounder. Does pick them all up. Very, very smart by Symbols. Picks up the remaining of his army here. It is very, very close. Let's pull up the units tab here. We do have, essentially it is 71 to 35 for Barcode. But we do have a fairly skookum army with the Metavacs and the Marine Marauder there with Stims. So it is fairly even. Does have a lot of production buildings. They are both electing to start rebuilding themselves here. So very well done. I am a little bit disappointed that these two gateways stayed standing. That could really help a lot there. And he is going to elect to go with Storm. So Storm will finally come out of Barcode there. So very smart there. There's all the landing zones for those barracks here. Now, what they choose to do from this point, we'll soon find out here. As both of them are going to rebuild for a bit. We could probably speed this baby up, as both of them are going to sit in their base here for a little bit until they determine what they want to do. There he goes. Good scan. Very good scan. That is the advantage to being Terran. You can always scan without having to send any of your units out, which does help a lot there. He does kind of move back to the front door there, basically making sure none of those ramps gets vacant there, so he can walk up and kind of catch him off guard. So there we go. We are going to land all that. The whole time, though, Symbols has had this expansion mining, and that might be his biggest advantage, as he is carrying a nice bankroll now. So once all those Once all those barracks land, he can actually start to build some stuff right away. So that might be a great big advantage for him. He does fly this into position properly. Does have a lot of SCVs queued up on both of his command centers, so very well done there. 18 SCVs to the 25 probes there. We do have the 4 Marauders and the 8 Medevacs to the 1 Templar, 2 Sentry, 1 Stalker, 1 Archon, and 20 Zealots. Those 20 Zealots might be the difference, as they have been just deadly. Here we go. We are going to go Tech Lab, Tech Lab, Tech Lab, and Reactor and Tech Lab. So only one going with the Raptors, so probably going into a Marauder heavy type build. He's going to go up and finish off these buildings. I think this is a very smart move, as those extra 2 production buildings of gateways could have really been a big help to Barcode. But him taking them down here with symbols is very smart. Very, very good move. He does get in there right away here. He will drop them off here and start taking this all out here. We'll work on this pylon first, I would have to imagine. There we go. It is going to go right for the cannon actually here, so that cannon will go down fairly quickly here. And if he takes out that this Templar Archives here, could be a very, very smart move as well. Although he does have the research out of it, it will at least stop him from building Templars, which is very handy for him. Let's see at the other end. Does he have anything coming up out of the ordinary? I wouldn't mind seeing a Dark Shrine go down. I think that would have been brilliant if he had started going into that. But he is going into Stargate technology, so fairly interesting choice. He is getting the Twilight Council back out there. I would like to think he might start to go Darkies, or maybe he's just looking to start getting back into getting some more Archons on the field here. Either choice would be very, very good, but Darkies might catch him off guard here. Although Terran always does have the scan, a lot of times it's very handy. I'm not too sure why he left the Assimilator. Might not be the greatest of moves leaving that one building if it does come right down to a base race one more time. But in the meantime, we could probably speed this up, as both these guys are macroing up fairly heavy here. Does have 6 Medevacs, 11 Marauders, and 9 what are those things called? Marines. There you go. It's been a long day, I tell you. After 9 hours of work and mowing the lawn and weed eating right after work, and finally sitting down for a drink of water there. I am one tired man, so I do apologize. Here we go. They are going to decide to move out here fairly quickly, I would have to imagine, as it does look like each of the armies are a little bit skittish now, as they are moving very slowly. Here we go. He has selected this at time. Barcode's going to move across the map. It is 109 to 86 for food counts, so it is fairly lopsided, I guess, a little bit for Barcode here, by about 20 or so here. So he's going to get right down into the base here, but he's going down to the planetary. This might be deadly if he starts getting the repairs going on at this planetary. He might be able to take out quite a few here, but he doesn't elect to repair. So the planetary will go down fairly quickly here, but he does know where the army is. That is a big advantage to him here. All those SCVs end up getting out of there. Here comes the Marine Marauders trying to get the high ground. Very smart move, but then they are on the high ground at this point in time. They knock down a walking Zealot, another Zealot. All these Zealots coming up one by one. Not the greatest of moves. Is Mike going fairly well here? Does have them all trapped at the bottom of the hill here, but they are moving up the ramp, trying to get in there. Time Warp goes down to get. He always has that mothership around at sea. So very smart move to do that there. All these medevacs healing there is really making this army deadly, but it has a lot of Marauders, and with the Void Rays up there, it could be a little bit of trouble. Does not have a lot of Marines, so not a lot of anti-air at this point in time. It does look like Symbols is going to GG this game, so very well done. And I'm pretty sure Symbols was the submitter of this game. If it was Barcode that submitted, I do apologize, as the name in the email did not tell me. So very well done by both of you guys, though. My condolences to you, Symbols. My congrats to you, Barcode. And I will leave you with this. If the pen is green and the pencil's blue, I'd wake back up, because I put my pants on backwards. Thanks so much for watching. You be good. Don't hurt nobody. Peace.